What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Got another review for you today, and this time we're taking a look at the Transformers Legacy Evolution Comic Universe Tarn, as chosen by you guys. So let's jump straight in. So here we are then, guys, with Tarn, and as you can see, this guy looks very menacing indeed. I believe as part of the official lore for this character, he did actually weld this very nice looking Decepticon insignia mask onto his face. So he does have another bot face under there in the canon. Unfortunately, they didn't make that piece removable on this figure, but he does have another face under there, and I believe his real name is Damas. So if you don't know about this character, he originates from the IDW comics, which are really interesting to say the least. They're quite a dark take on the Transformers universe, and there's plenty of cool characters such as Tarn in those comics. So onto the figure. This is a standard Voyager class figure in the Legacy line. He's packing some very decent articulation, and the accessories are quite nice as well with this guy. Obviously, because he's a Legacy Evolution figure, you do get that Evo Fusion gimmick, which I'll show you a little bit later on when we jump into the accessories. But just briefly going to go over the figure for now. So as you can see, we get some nice purple on that mask, and it is the Decepticon insignia that, as stated, he is welded over his own face. He is a devout Decepticon, and he idolizes Megatron, so it only seems right for this guy to have the Decepticon insignia as his face. There is a little bit of light piping on this fig, but it doesn't really work that well. It just ends up being really dark because of the thickness of the mask. So yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. Moving down to the chest, we get this nice gold painted Decepticon insignia, as well as a couple of different shades of purple there, and then some metallic silver. This chest plate forms the front section of the alt mode. As you can see here, his shoulders are made up out of the treads for the tank, which is really cool. Gives him this really jacked up looking appearance. He is a little bit skinny compared to his comic counterpart and the source material, but yeah, in terms of him being a Voyager class figure, there's not a lot they could have done really. Maybe if they release a leader class fig, it could possibly be a little bit bigger and a bit more heft to it. Moving down to the arms, we get these grey arms with a bit more of that light purple, and then onto the hands. He also has these wrist gauntlet pieces as well that you can attach the accessory to if you want. Down to the crotch section, not a lot going on there really. Just a couple of different panels painted in that purple again. Legs are pretty plain, just in this grey plastic. We do get some little gap fillers, which is nice. Otherwise they would have been pretty hollow, the legs. So it's nice to get the gap fillers. Got some gold paint on the knees. Unfortunately mine's worn away a little bit here, just from general wear and tear. And then down to the legs, a couple of different shades of purple there and a bit more metallic silver. And then the feet, again the same, with a bit more of that gold colour on the feet as well. And yeah, the feet do look pretty menacing actually. They look like they could cause some serious damage. So, and then round to the back, we just get this one solid piece for the backpack here. Not a lot going on the backs of the legs really. And then get a 5mm port in there so you can tab the accessory in there if you want. So, with all that being said, let's jump on to the accessories. So Tarn's main accessories are these twin fusion cannons, which come attached to this turret middle section piece. As you can see, they just tab in to these 5mm ports. You can have them on either either one. It just gives you a bit more of an extended barrel if you have it on the forward one. And it attaches via this port into one of Tarn's many different 5mm ports. As stated, you can have it attached to his backpack as well for a bit more of a artillery pack look going on there. As stated, there is an Evo Fusion gimmick. So if you separate these two cannons from that turret piece and just pop that over to the side, and then each cannon has one of these 5mm tips on the end of it, and you can just connect the two like so. And there we go, that creates Tarn's fusion cannon, which looks extremely menacing. And I believe he uses it to take out Optimus in one of the comics. So yeah, this thing deals some heavy damage. It's more like a sniper rifle really. So you can have that look going on. And then as for the little turret section, you can just come round to the back here and just tab that on the back. Just store it away there. It does also come with these two additional blasters, which just store on the back. You can remove them from these ports, but they are mushroom pegged in. So I'd just be a little bit careful. You don't want to break them. But yeah, you can remove those as well, and you can hold them as well. Moving on to Tarn's articulation, we have the head on a ball joint, so it'll look up to there. You can get a little bit of extra movement out of this transformation joint here, so you can get him looking fairly high up like so. Go down to there. It will go a full 360. You just got to lift the chin section of the mask over these grey bits of plastic here. Shoulders are on hinges, so they'll go up to there. They'll also go a full 360 all the way around. We do get these transformation hinges here on the biceps. The elbows will swivel and bend just past 90. And then the wrists are on swivels as well, so they'll go all the way around. And then we do actually get some finger articulation with Tarn, which is very nice actually, yeah, most welcome. So you can open the hand out if you want, or you can have it closed up as a fist, completely up to you. And it doesn't hinder him holding any of his weapons either, he'll still hold it, as he's still got that 5mm connection there. Down to the waist, it will swivel, but it will get caught there. So you're only going to be able to go about 180 because of the backpack. You can untab the backpack like so, and then just bring it out, and then it will go all the way around. So if you mistransform him, you can get more movement out of him. The hips are on hinges, so they will go out to there. You've just got to maneuver around these armor panels that are on the front of the hips. So again, if you can sort of maneuver around the different panels and stuff, you can get a bit more articulation out of him. They'll kick up to there, so we get a nice high kick from Tarn. They'll kick back all the way back there, so really nice backwards kick as well. They have a swivel at the thigh. The knees will bend just past 90, but then we do get a transformation joint, so you can untab that there to get a little bit of extra motion out of the knee. And then down to the feet, we do get up to there, down all the way to there, as that's how it transforms. And then we get a slight ankle rocker as well there. Just a quick comparison for you guys here. Here he is alongside the leader of the Decepticons. So this is the Revenge of the Fallen Studio Series Megatron. Megatron is a leader class, so you would expect him to be taller. And I'm just going to bring in another legacy figure, one of the newer ones. And this is the Infernac Universe Magnius. and he is a deluxe class, so as you can see he's a little bit smaller than Tarn. So with all that being said, guys, let's get Tarn transformed into his alt mode. So first step, what we want to do is untab this chest piece here. It's only going to go up to about there, so don't try and force it anymore. And then you want to take the head and rotate it so the front is now facing the back. Next step, we're going to come to this backpack section here, and we're going to rotate these two guns down, and as you can see we do get a small soft tab connection there, so we're just going to gently squeeze those onto those tabs, and then we can go ahead and separate this backpack section from the shoulders. As you can see, there are two tabs that go into these tread pieces. This whole piece here is made out of a translucent bit of plastic, so it is very fragile, so I would advise using caution with that piece, as we know how delicate these bits of plastic can be. So once you've untabbed that, you want to rotate this piece around so the guns are now facing up, and just leave it there for a sec. Next, what we can do is we're going to come to these tread sections that are on the torso, and you just want to pull them out slightly, and you just want to extend them out. Then what we can do is rotate them while simultaneously bringing this piece up, and then you want to rotate this head section down into that gap there. And it is just a balancing act of gently rotating everything around. If you do it too forcefully, you are just going to pull this piece off. It's only just soft tabbed in place there, so just be careful with that. And again, this front section here is it's just all that same translucent plastic again. So yeah, you've got to be careful with those bits. So once you've done that, just bring all that section down like that, and then that piece should be sitting nice and flush like that. And then you can go ahead and bring this section down just on a double hinge, so you just want to hinge that back over there, so it should just cover that up. As you can see, one of the tabs from my chest piece up here has broken off, sadly. It does connect in there when it's in bot mode. So again, more problems with that plastic, unfortunately. Next step, what you want to do is rotate the arms down to just so that they're above the legs like that. So once you've got the arms rotated down like that, we can then come to the legs, specifically the feet, and we're just going to fold the feet up like that so they're sitting nice and flush with the rest of the leg. Do that on both. And then what you want to do is you're going to come to this knee joint, and you just want to untab it, separate it so we get that double hinge like so. Do it on both, and then you're going to spin him round, and we get a tab here which is going to go in that slot there on the foot. So you just want to utilize that double hinge on the knee, bring all that around, and then just tab the toe onto the backpack. Do the same thing on the other side, and then we can take both of the halves and just tab them together like so. So it should look like that. Next, we're going to come to the arms, and we're going to take these panels here, and we're going to rotate them around so that they're now on the inside of the arms. Then what we can do is utilize that bicep angled joint, and then we're going to untab this section of tread from the shoulder. It just untabs from there, and then you can also untab that panel like so and just open it all out. And then we're going to bring this piece down so that it sits flush like that, as that's going to create the rear treads. And then with the arm, you just want to rotate it around so that this panel is now facing up. And we're going to push the arm back so it's sitting flush with that. Then we can take this panel, fold it down and tab it into there. And then the whole section, we're just going to make sure it's straight. And as you can see here, we get a tab on the side, just in there. And then there's also one just inside there. And we're going to connect all that to the foot so that it's sitting nice and tight like that. Do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to move this arm piece out at the bicep, untab the shoulder, fold this piece out, bring all that down over there, rotate at the elbow, fold that back and bring this down over the top of it, and then we're just going to bring all that up and tab it into place. It does require a little bit of wiggling to get those side tabs that are on the legs in, but you'll know once you've done it. Just give it a quick once over, make sure it's all lined up and connected together, nicely squished. And then the last step, we can take the accessory, and what we need to do is grab this piece here which just rotates around, and you want to rotate it so that the 5mm post is now at the front, and then these two little tabs are at the back. And then we're going to come to the top section here where the legs were, and as you can see, those two tabs there are going to hold this turret piece in place. So you just want to get all that tabbed on there, like so. And there we go, guys, there's Tarn in his alt mode. As you can see, it's a Cybertronian tank, which is looking very kitted out, ready for some warfare. It does actually look more like an artillery piece than an actual battle tank, especially with this big cannon on the back of it. And you can, if you've got some, you can utilise some of these blast effect pieces in that cannon there. And you can also attach them to these front guns here, so you can have that effect going on. It's really cool, that does. I'll just show you a closer view. You've got this gold here which sort of forms a little viewport on the front, which is nice. And there's that chest piece which now creates the cow catcher that's on the front. Got these two point defense guns at the front. You can untab those and articulate them round a little bit if you want to. And then here's the side with the treads that we couldn't see earlier, as this was all folded up. Going round to the back. As you can see, there is no way to cover up his hands, which is probably the biggest complaint that I have about this figure, really. He does have the visible hands syndrome. Yeah, there's not a lot you can do, really. You can bring the fingers down if you want to, but it doesn't really alter the look too much. Just no getting away from it, really. Yeah, it's probably the biggest disappointment of this figure. So that's the alt mode. I'll just show you a few comparisons. So here he is with that Studio Series Megatron, who is also a Cybertronian tank in his alt mode. As you can see, they go quite well together. They look significantly different. But yeah, I am a big fan of the Cybertronian alt mode designs. Definitely looking forward to seeing more of those in the future. And then here he is with another legacy fig, which has already made his way into one other video. and that is Legacy Scraphook, who sadly lost the poll to Tarn. So this guy's going to be next in the reviews. As you can see, Tarn is a lot bigger, but Scraphook is just a deluxe class fig, so you'd expect that. So that's what it looks like with those. So guys, that's about it for this review. Final thoughts on Tarn. I think he's an excellent addition to Transformers Legacy. It would be really great if Hasbro continue to delve into that IDW comic universe and give us characters from that universe in Legacy or whichever medium it's going to be. Yeah, there are some really cool characters in there, so if you haven't checked out those comics, yeah, they're definitely worth getting into if you're an avid Transformers fan. As for this fig, it would be nice if Hasbro could revisit him at some point in the future, maybe give us a leader class Tarn instead, make him a bit more tankier as he appears in the comics, and maybe they could include a removable faceplate as well, which would be nice. And then, you know, just little things like that translucent plastic, maybe use a little bit less of it, and then, you know, get those hands covered up for the alt mode. That's about the biggest complaints really with this guy. There is a slight repaint available for Tarn, and he is available in a 4-pack only, so yeah, he's not going to be accessible to everyone, unfortunately, but yeah, there is one available, and he's the Cyberverse Tarn, so he's got a slightly different paint scheme to this guy, but it is essentially the same figure. And then they also did a slight retool of this guy and made him into Bludgeon, who's another Decepticon character, and the main difference is the colour scheme, the paint, and the head sculpt. Bludgeon has a different head sculpt, and he also comes with a sword as well. You have seen on the channel we've gone through a slight rebrand. That is essentially to bring it into line with a second channel that I'll be launching soon, which is going to be based on gaming content. So keep your eyes posted for that. So yeah, we're no longer Turtle Jeff Reviews, we are now Depths Reviews, as my other channel is called To The Depths, which is my gamer tag. So yeah, slight rebrand, but all the same content, nothing else is going to be changing on this channel. And I have also set up an Instagram account under the name of Depths Reviews, which I will link via a pinned comment on this video, and it is also in the channel description as well. There's a link down there that you can click, and that'll take you to the Instagram page. We've basically just got a load of content on there of all the figures in various different poses, and you know, it sort of shows you a little bit extra as to what you get in these videos. So do go ahead and check that out if you want to. Give me a follow over there. And as always, thank you very much for watching the video. Hope you've enjoyed the review. Drop me a like and feel free to leave me a comment. Keep your eyes peeled for that new channel that will be coming soon. And stay tuned for the next review. We're going to be bringing you plenty more content on the way. That being said, thank you very much. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.